Here is the engine running here. Now you're going to hear a couple of things. First of all, just the sound of it running, of course. And you're also going to hear sound of like crickets here. And that's just the little, the serpentine belt in there being a little squeakity, which can happen at colder times of the year in that. If it continues into the spring and it's still squeaking like that, I'll replace it. There's nothing wrong with it. It can squeak for as long as it likes. It actually did on old Clanky as well, but I did replace that. That was early on in its life before I knew that it was going to self-destruct. And the new belt lasted for, geez, almost 100,000 miles and hadn't squeaked even in that time. But it is here, it is running, and obviously it's not clanking. But if you listen to it, it sounds a little bit trucky. Sounds almost like a truck with a V6 in it. I guess that's what all V6s sound like. It's a little odd to have a V6 in a regular passenger vehicle as such. It does sound a bit trucky. It is a bit trucky to drive. It's like stiff, and I don't know how else to explain it. It doesn't feel like a 4-cylinder at all. It feels like a 6. It sounds like a 6. It runs like a 6. Because shit, it is a 6. But again, I would have never even considered this vehicle if it had the 4-cylinder 2AZ FE engine in it. I only went for it because it had the 6. Not because I wanted the 6 necessarily, but because it's not the 4. And that's why I went for it. Got a decent price on it, so I really can't complain, and hopefully it'll serve me well. It has almost 60,000 miles on it. If I can get it up to 130, I'll consider my money well spent on it. If it goes beyond that, so much the better. Let's take her for a spin. So for those of you who think that, you know, you can't be driving holding the camera is being steadfastly held by itself in the window well with the monopod, although you will only ever see one hand. So I'm definitely not holding the camera, as you can tell. I'm not holding the camera at all, so nobody can complain about that. We'll just take it for a nice easy ride around in the just in the streets, just so you can hear how it rides. If you can hear anything on the video, of course. You know, that's all dependent. And rides real smooth. Just all around. Very nice ride. In a very nice car. Probably all you're actually hearing is just the rumble of poorly maintained roads, because we pay the highest taxes in the entire country.
All the houses are the same, right?
All the houses are the same. Oh, great. The Children's are cocking over the program. The Children's are cocking over the program.
These are all your style houses, right?
A lot of them are. So it takes off a little bit. Next time I do that, I'll show you the dash. But just to give you an idea of what it's like, it's pretty nice. So again, just to give you an idea, This thing will move when you tell it go.
It screeches the tires or the traction.
It actually won't. Yeah, in first gear, if you nail it on a dry road like we have here today, once it starts getting up to the high range there, the wheels start chattering because the tires are not gripping the ground. It wants to go that hard, that fast. The engine is, according to what I looked up on Wikipedia, 280 horsepower, which is one of the most powerful six-cylinder engines that was ever produced in '07. I don't know where I read that, somewhere on the interwebs, but of course, if you read it on the interwebs, it must be true. And like I said, I am destined to drive around with a warning light at all times. So that'll just have to be until I get that looked at. In the meantime, I'm going to pull back in the driveway and we'll just do a wrap-up. Last but not least, the Compass is a vacuum fluorescent display. It will display quarter quadrants as well, so that means like northeast, southwest it will display. And that's pretty much the deal. So we'll shut her down. You just press the button. It says Camry, and that's all there is to it, pretty much. So anyway, this is my new ride. I do like it. It's a lot more car than I would have ever purchased, but it just so happened to be available to me at a decent price, and I bid, and here we are. So very happy with it so far. No trouble, of course, except for that TPMS light. If anybody knows anything about that, please let me know. I've done all of the research and read everything online, and basically they have to hook a computer up to it and reprogram it or some crap like that. It's not the spare. I've already checked that. This is a compact spare, and that doesn't count as per the owner's manual for the car as being counted in the TPMS. There's one other thing though. I don't have a name for this car yet. Now, I'd like it to be in the one-syllable, two-syllable, just like Old Clanky is one-syllable, two-syllable. So, I would like a name like that, that's kind of two words, that would explain what this is. And don't give me stupid shit like, so fancy, because that ain't gonna work.
Precious.
Precious. Golden. The color of the car, as many of you have seen, is tan or beige or anything. It's actually desert sand mica. I'm sorry. So, pardon. And with that being said, that's going to wrap this up. So, make sure you hit like, make sure you hit subscribe, and take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.